Expo 2019 Beijing is held on the theme of Live Green, Live Better. It hosts 110 countries and international organizations. Addressing the opening ceremony, leaders of international organizations hailed China's efforts for raising awareness about the environment and supporting ecological development.
With a great diversity of gardens and numerous cultural activities, Expo 2019 Beijing, China will, for the next 6 months, inspire and educate visitors on the critical significance of plants to enhance quality of life and ensure the future of the next generations.
China has led the way in promoting green development. It's clear that the Chinese government supports ecologically sensitive development in order to create a beautiful China. I'm confident that the legacy of this expo will be greener lives for generations to come.
Chinese President Xi Jinping also delivered a speech and proposed an initiative on promoting green development. He called for the pursuit of harmony between man and nature.
The overall balance of the Earth's ecology should be maintained, so that the starry sky, lush mountains, and floral fragrance will be retained for future generations to enjoy along with material prosperity.
The Chinese president proposed pursuing prosperity based on green development and called for developing a passion for nature-caring lifestyles. He also called for fostering a scientific spirit in ecological governance and joint efforts to tackle environmental challenges.
Only with concerted efforts can we effectively deal with global environmental issues such as climate change, marine pollution, and biological protection, and achieve the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals.
世界园艺博览会开幕。
President Xi joined nearly 1,000 representatives from various countries in the opening ceremony of Expo 2019 Beijing.
A road to peace, prosperity, opening up, as well as innovation. Following the second annual Belt Road Forum in Beijing, Chinese President Xi Jinping spoke about the achievements made during the 3 days of in-depth discussion and exchanges of opinions. More than 5 years since it was first proposed, the Belt Road Initiative has grown into one of the most promising platforms for international cooperation with solid progress and a shifting focus on high-quality development. At this time, 40 heads of states and international organizations are making joint efforts to bring the initiative to a higher level of quality and sustainability.
我们丰富了共建“一带一路”合作理念。
We enriched the concept of Belt and Road cooperation and jointly reaffirmed our commitment to its high-quality development. Guided by the principle of extensive consultation, joint contribution and shared benefits, the parties have conducted consultations as equals, jointly shouldered responsibilities and enjoyed benefits together.
欢迎所有感兴趣的国家都参与进来。
2 years ago, during the first Belt and Road Forum, positive consensus and fruitful outcomes were achieved. Officials say the results were even better this time with higher quality outcomes. A full range of 283 outcomes were reached, including both governmental cooperation agreements and initiatives, as well as concrete cooperation projects involving participation of the business sector. Moreover, a massive number of business contracts were signed at the forum.
论坛期间举行的企业家大会
A great many business representatives participated in the CEO conference. They signed project cooperation agreements worth over $64 billion. All of this shows that Belt and Road cooperation is in sync with the times, widely supported, people-centred and beneficial to all.
Meanwhile, a joint communique was also released by which countries reaffirmed that strengthening multilateralism remains essential in addressing global challenges. In the face of rising protectionism and unilateralism, China has presented a new model of globalization, which is not only a continuity of the spirit from the ancient Silk Road, but also a chapter that injects a new impetus to the global growth.
At the Great Hall of the People in the heart of Beijing, President Xi held bilateral meetings with a slew of world leaders following the second Belt and Road Forum in the Chinese capital. When meeting Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, President Xi said the South Asian country is, quote, China's all-weather strategic cooperative partner. He described the two as iron friends and said they have always firmly supported each other on issues concerning each other's core interests. As he received Tajikistan President Emomali Rahmon, the Chinese leader called for strengthened cooperation in the fields of trade, finance and people-to-people exchanges. Xi Jinping also met with Kyrgyzstan President Soronbay Jahembekov, noting that China-Kyrgyzstan relations have maintained a stable and healthy momentum of development. Xi said the Chinese side is committed to developing all-round friendly cooperation with the country. The first president of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, talked with President Xi and hailed the BRI as a very great idea that has a perspective which mankind can rely on to achieve further integration. Xi also held talks with Czech Republic President Miloš Zeman, reaffirming the two countries' strategic partnership. Zeman said the Czech Republic is ready and willing to cooperate with China on the Belt and Road Initiative. Bilateral talks were also held between President Xi and Djibouti leader Ismail Omar Guelleh. Both agreed to enhance cooperation in trade and investment. A total of 37 foreign leaders attended the Belt and Road Summit, held from April 25th to the 27th.
As the second Belt and Road Forum draws to a close, the Chinese government is implementing new entry and exit immigration measures to help ease the flow of talent and visitors to and from China.
迅速部署实施“一带一路”沿线国家地区人员出入境便利安排。
To further promote people-to-people exchanges between BRI countries, we have established a Belt and Road channel at the border to speed up inspection procedures. We also provide application services for companies engaged in the BRI, and we have shortened the number of visa processing days for those who need express service.
These new measures aim to help China establish a more efficient environment for Belt and Road countries, further promoting people-to-people exchanges and trade expansion.
Untouched by hostility all around them, these refugee babies are comfortable in their new home. After the Easter Sunday attack in Sri Lanka, an unexpected conflict has erupted. In a backlash, about 1,000 refugees from Pakistan, Iran and Afghanistan living in asylum in Negombo had to vacate their rented accommodations.
Everyone, they are saying that we can't give our home to anyone. To Pakistanis, Afghanis, we can't give our home on rent and all. And now we don't know where we will live.
We are afraid that what will happen to my children. It is very difficult for us because we don't have anything to eat. We cannot go out to purchase something.
I was going down the street and a Sri Lankan man shouted at me in a different language and he started punching me. We left our bike and our helmets there and ran.
How would you feel if you escape your country because of the terrorists and come to another country like Sri Lanka to ask the people for a shelter, for love, and they treat you like you've been the reason for that tragedy?
The areas where refugees lived. No one was willing to speak to us except this man without revealing his identity.
That's a problem. I tell IS Muslim. That's a problem, you know.
Wahhabi.
That's why all people think Muslim.
Since the attack, this town with mixed ethnicity has been on the edge and communal tension is building up.
This apprehension is that these incidents might continue to escalate unless we nip them in the bud right now. So I think that's why it's very important to address them right now in the first few days itself so that they don't get out of hand and they don't get widespread.
The religious leaders have identified the undercurrent. Candlelight vigils like these are being organized for peace and harmony. Easter Sunday attacks have been a big blow to the coexistence of refugees with the locals or Muslims with the Christians. Ethnic tensions are brewing in the country. Although appeals by religious leaders have been helpful, but more needs to be done for peace to prevail.